Are the crystal gems will always save the day.
Alright, it's new intro time. I have 4 whole seasons to talk about this intro, so I'm gonna save some of the things I want to mention for later videos, plus the video I'm gonna make for the extended intro. One thing I do want to mention is that I noticed for the very first time that a lot of the vocals are exactly the same as the season 1 intro. All of the instrumentals are new, so it sounds like an entirely new track. But if you listen to both intros side by side, you can tell that most of the lines are the same recordings. I actually think the only new part they had to record was Steven saying gems.
The sun is bright, our shirts are clean, we're sitting up above the sea. Come on and share this gem with me.
You know, I always think back to this episode and remember that it has a song. This is not the song I think about. That kind of says a lot because this song is super charming. Connie's first singing part as well. What am I looking at here, show? A full moon during the day? You can't have that. I said that before and people in the comments tried to argue that it is possible. It's not. When the moon is full, the sun and the moon are on opposite sides of the planet. The moon is gonna rise right when the sun is setting. Don't make me post the minute physics video again. Here's a Wikipedia article to cover my bases too. Don't test me. I will make a whole fucking science video about this if I have to. I'm willing to die on this hill.
Woohoo! Gem buds!
I'm gonna talk bird anatomy because this seagull is whack. First of all, no webbed feet. That's kind of a defining feature of a seagull in my humble opinion. Second, this beak is weird. It looks more like some kind of robot claw. And birds don't have uvulas. Yeah, I had to Google that one. I don't have a seagull at my disposal to check that sort of thing myself. Hey, don't do that. That's not what that's for. Violin bows can't be cheap. I feel like I should ask about the laundry room being outside on the statue's hand, the logistics of water and electricity and all that, but I'm more wondering why there's a warp pad on the statue's hand at all. Was a warp pad moved here specifically for the laundry room? Whoever built this statue couldn't have made stairs up the statue's arm. It's kind of weird, but it makes for aesthetically pleasing title cards.
You should train Connie to sword fight. She's already so good. Steven! But you are. You helped me fight the robot floaty thing. She took down that evil clone of herself.
I think this is a pretty convincing argument for her. I didn't think Connie was set up to be any good with swords until Steven started listing the things we saw her do. Even if it's fighting 2 things, that's 2 more things than I've ever fought with a sword. And she came out on top both times.
But I suppose I was only a few thousand years old when I began fighting alongside rose quartz.
It's a good joke about gems being these eternal creatures, but it falls apart when you start analyzing it, as any joke does. Gems can't grow or mature with age, so Pearl could have started learning anything at any age.
I don't want to be a burden. I want to help. I want to be there for Steven to fight by his side.
I like what the show decides to do with Connie this season. The scope of the show is ramping up, and if the writers want Connie to stick around, they have to change her in a way that not only lets her come on adventures, but fits her character. Sword fighting is perfect for this. It's a martial art, so it takes discipline, fortitude, and lots of practice. Connie is already hardwired as a character for that kind of thing.
The Earth is my home, too. Can't I help protect it?
Add 1 to the cry streak. I think we're at 7 now. I need some kind of graphic for it because I think this is just going to keep happening. Any artists out there, send me a message on the forum if you want to contribute. Whoa, no, this is a setting ripe for analysis. This is the Sky Arena, which I'm not sure if it's floating or not. It looks like it has piles embedded into this rock. This is the first time we see the emblem of the Great Diamond Authority. The old one. We saw the new one all the way back in Serious Steven and more recently in Jailbreak. This is the old one, and there's 2 of them, and look at this foreshadowing up here. Same thing in the next shot. There's this pink diamond on the bottom, and it seems kind of broken, while the others still remain. This is also not the same as the arena we saw in Steven the Sword Fighter. It's extremely similar, though. It's got the same style of statues and these pillars with alien gem writing on them. I said it in that episode, and I'll say it again. I wonder who these statues are depicting. This isn't the only time we visit the Sky Arena, so I'll have more opportunity to talk about it again.
You okay? It can take some getting used to.
Woo!
I don't think Connie should be reacting this way to the warp. I can tell you for certain that this isn't her first time warping because of that rant I went on about the warp pad on the statue's hand. She had to have warped at least 2 times earlier today. Okay, maybe if this is the first day she's used the warp pads, she could be reacting this way still.
This is an ancient sky arena, Connie, where some of the first battles for Earth took place.
It was here that I became familiar with the human concept of being a knight.
I think Pearl is making up a bunch of stuff here to get Connie pumped up. Why would you fight a war in an arena? Both sides would have to agree that this is like the place we're gonna have the war. It's like if in modern day we decided to fight wars in Counter-Strike. Okay, maybe not quite like that, but I didn't have a better example. Secondly, knights are a pretty recent thing in human history. Like between 1 and 2,000 years ago. If Pearl learned this from humans, it would be way too late for the war that ended thousands of years earlier.
I hope you two are taking this seriously.
Yes, ma'am.
I gotta say, Connie is really fucking excited to be holding a deadly weapon. I fuck with that energy. New hollow Pearl design to match Pearl's new design. Some reused voice lines from Steven the Swordfighter though. The new ones and the reused ones are played back to back, and it's pretty obvious.
Beginner, set! Do you wish to engage in combat?
It doesn't bother me because this thing is supposed to be like a sword fighting bop it. Low quality audio seals the deal.
Yes!
Steven?
Oh, I'm sorry. Sorry. Reflex.
This episode really highlights that Steven is getting better control of his powers. Conjuring this bubble and then dispelling it takes literally zero effort on his part. Later he pulls out his shield as well. It's just cool to see.
You do it for him, and you would do it again. You do it for her, that is to say, you'll do it for him.
I love it when Pearl gets a song, man. Pearl's got the best songs in the show, which is really saying a lot. Most of the voice actors in the show are awesome singers, and Pearl's voice actress is just way up there on top.
Keep my stance wide.
Good.
Keep my body lowered.
Right.
During this song, we also get Connie's leitmotif instrument, which is a violin. Connie has some parallels to Rose Quartz, whose instrument is strings in general. Maybe it's just the tinfoil hat conspiracy talk, but there do seem to be a lot of parallels between Connie and Rose Quartz. There will be more and more evidence for that as we get later into the show. Left-handed Rose Quartz, fucking awesome. Again, I'm left-handed. It's always cool to see a left-handed character, even though it doesn't really matter at all. I just like it. And I guess all that stuff I said about Connie being left-handed is kind of thrown out the window, with all of her fighting being done with her right hand in this episode.
What they don't know is your real advantage. When you live for someone, you're prepared to die.
I gotta give praise to this song for not only being a fucking banger, but it's actually in place to get the story moving. It ramps up at just the right pace. Like when Pearl says you're prepared to die, she kinda turns into the villain of this story. This episode didn't have a conflict until it was introduced in the fucking song. How cool is that?
Ah, right on time.
Pearl's room moment. I have to point these out because of how rare they are.
Can we talk for a moment?
Sure. What's up? We have important training to do, Connie.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not even gonna worry about Pearl putting Connie in danger, putting her on this path of self-destruction or whatever. She just ganks Steven's only friend. Imagine being a kid and you have your friends over, and they just spend the whole time hanging out with your parents.
Yo, Steven. Why are you standing there all sad like that?
What the hell, chill. Great voice acting, but take a pill, calm down.
You okay, dude?
I have to do something! Thanks for telling me that, bye!
I don't give Steven's voice actor enough credit. I always talk about the gems, and Ronaldo weirdly, but Zach Callison can really deliver a line sometimes. I say sometimes because when his voice changes more and more throughout the show, some of it can be hard to listen to. So I like to appreciate when it's really good like this.
Let us begin.
Since when do you have cloud powers? First sand powers that you never use, now cloud powers that you never use? Shouldn't you be throwing, like, smoke grenades during battle with powers like that?
Connie! Connie, where are you?
Oh, these are also those fancy sound-deadening clouds. That's not how fog works. Shut up, I know it's magic, or whatever.
Unregistered combatant detected.
That's kind of an oversight, or just shitty programming. Don't have the training robot aggro on the random guy who wanders into the training grounds. Also, why does this thing have a real sword now? Or rather, why did the one at the beginning of this episode have a hologram sword?
No, Steven. I understand now. Your legacy, your destiny. You are everything.
Do you think Pearl told her? Nah, probably not, but it's cool to think about.
But if you're the one protecting me, then who's the one protecting you?
Fuck yeah! I wonder when we're gonna get to a point where Steven summons his shield and it's not cool enough to say fuck yeah anymore. I think the irony of this situation between both Rose Quartz in the past and Steven now is that they can protect themselves. Steven's literally the shield guy, and he's got the bubble and all that.
Steven, don't interfere. She needs to take me on herself.
Why? We're a team.
I get the sentiment Steven has, but Pearl's right. Isn't this a test to assess Connie's progress? She does have to do it herself, otherwise Steven's getting in here and skewing the data.
And that makes us jam.
Buds!
What?
Tintin-ass Pearl. Anime-ass reaction frame. Wait, now Connie's fighting with her left hand? Is she ambidextrous, or was she learning wrong this whole time? Did anyone else get the vibe the first time they watched this episode that Connie and Steven were gonna fuse during this fight? To this day, I'm still surprised that they didn't.
You shouldn't be anywhere near the fight. You're too important.
I am not.
Yes, you are.
No.
Why won't you just let me do this for you, Rose?
Another heavy Pearl moment, still dealing with her grief. I don't think it hits anywhere near as hard as the end of Rose's scabbard. Clearly she's reliving a similar conversation she had with Rose Quartz back in the day, but we already knew that. Garnet explained that earlier. I don't know, this one just doesn't hit for me like previous emotional climaxes. No, you're gonna dull the sword. I hope Pearl has a whetstone in her room and takes better care of them than that.
Did Rose make you feel like you were nothing?
Rose made me feel like I was everything.
Okay, that's why the earlier one didn't hit so hard. This is the real emotional climax that this episode was working toward. A feel-good one for a change. I don't know how clear the show has made it that Pearl was like stupid in love with Rose Quartz before this point, but this moment really highlights that. It should be pretty obvious by now. I forgot how much I love this episode. It's like a borderline perfect episode. 2 songs is kinda cheating to start. Like I said as well, that second song also drives the plot forward. A lot of times when an episode has a song, take Full Disclosure for example, it kind of exists outside of the story. Like it's putting the story on hold and taking time away from the rest of the episode just to have a song. The songs in this episode allow the story to keep moving, so they end up blending in perfectly. And I think this episode is some much needed development for Connie. Connie hasn't really changed all that significantly since her introduction. This is kind of what she needed, and like I said earlier, giving her a way to fight alongside the gems is going to help her keep pace with where the show is going. It's got some payoff later in the season as well. And if you want to see new episodes a week before they premiere on YouTube, you can subscribe to my Patreon for just a couple bucks. The link is in the description as always. Shoutouts to my master patron, Geeky Game Guru, master of reading analog clocks. They don't even think about it, they just look at it and are like, oh, it's 8:47. And shoutouts to my journeyman patrons, Henri Wickers, Bananas Are Violet, Boomblorp, Dr. Moon, Gage M, Gizmo, Horsey Jumper, Max Buchek, Murky Water 6, the beginning of Lady Gaga's Bad Romance, Rose Quartz, Silly Alien Lady, Scala LD, The One True Fusion, Voidheart, Yotawo, and ZT the Fish Guy. Next episode is Rising Tides, Crashing Skies. I don't know about you, but I really like that one.